Have you ever trusted someone so much that you couldn't even imagine they'd lie to you? That was me. I loved her with everything I had. And maybe that was my first mistake. It started subtly, late replies, short calls, no more goodnight voice notes. I'd call her and she'd say she was tired. I'd try to plan something and she'd say she was busy. She wasn't always like this. When we first met, she'd talk to me for hours. She'd wait outside my office just to spend 10 more minutes together. She once told me, "I want us to build everything together." And I believed her. But somewhere along the line, something changed. Or maybe she changed. The night I knew something was wrong, she told me she had to stay late at work. It was almost midnight when I got a notification. Her best friend had posted a story. I opened it without thinking. And there she was, sitting at a rooftop restaurant, laughing with a guy I had never seen before. I stared at the screen for what felt like hours. It wasn't the kind of laugh she gave me anymore. It was louder, brighter, like she had already moved on and I just didn't get the memo. My hands were shaking, but I didn't confront her. Not yet, because pain is temporary, but silence can be powerful. The next day, I smiled at her like nothing had happened. She told me she was exhausted, and I just nodded. But inside, I started collecting pieces. She said she was working late again the next week, but the location on her ride-sharing app didn't match her office. She wore a perfume she never wore for me. She started carrying an extra charger. Foo. Little signs, easy to miss if your heart is blind, but mine wasn't anymore. I didn't want to be the guy who yells, who begs, who pleads. I wanted to be the guy she'd never forget. So I started keeping screenshots, text messages, receipts, locations. I didn't need to prove anything to her. I just wanted the truth to speak louder than I ever could. Her birthday was coming up, and that's when the idea hit me. She always loved surprises. So this time, I planned the biggest surprise of her life. I rented out a cozy little restaurant, the one she always said was her dream date spot, invited her closest friends, her family, and, of course, him, the man she thought she could hide from me. The night of the dinner, I stood in front of the mirror, fixing my collar. I didn't look heartbroken. I looked calm, focused, like someone about to end a chapter. When she walked in, she was glowing. She had no idea. She looked at me and whispered, "You didn't have to do all this." I smiled. "I know." Then she saw him, standing at the back of the room. Her face lost all its color. I tapped my phone, and the lights dimmed. A screen lit up behind me. The first slide was a picture of the restaurant where they met. Then came the messages, the photos, the screenshots. You could hear a pin drop in that room. Her mum's face went pale. Her friends stared at her like they didn't know who she was anymore, and him, he just stood there like a man who walked straight into a fire. I didn't say a word. I didn't have to. She started whispering, "Please, stop." Her voice was shaking. I walked up to her slowly, handed her the keys to the apartment, and said, "This is yours. But your lies. Stay here too." Tears filled her eyes. But I wasn't the same person who fell for those tears anymore. I took one last look at the woman I thought I'd spend my life with, and realized I never really knew her at all. I turned and walked out. She called my name once, but her voice didn't have the same power anymore. And in that moment, on that quiet street outside that restaurant, I felt something I hadn't felt in weeks. Peace. She lost me that night. But what she really lost was the version of me that trusted her blindly. A few weeks later, she texted me. Long paragraphs, apologies, explanations, but I didn't even reply. Revenge isn't always about screaming. Sometimes it's about silence, about letting someone live with the truth they tried to bury. Some betrayals don't need revenge. The truth is enough to burn everything down, and just like that, that was the final chapter of us and the beginning of me.